going to switch topics over to abortion, pro-life, pro-choice. So, if you're pro-life, we'll just figure this out real quick. If you consider yourself pro-life, just raise your hand. We'll see. Consider yourself pro-life.
I'm either one.
Either one?
I'll have my
We'll
reasons.
discuss it. Okay.
I'll
All right. So, let's see. I got a couple good questions here. When does life begin? There.
I think once the baby is conceived.
At conception? What do you think, Gracie?
once the baby has a heartbeat.
Heartbeat? Okay. Nick?
That's a big question.
What? Every question's good.
We can't say
Thank you, Nick. I appreciate I appreciate your admiration for my questions.
See, I'm always impressed. But
When does life begin?
life began, huh? I want to say roughly day 22, or maybe at the very beginning, or day 1 probably.
Okay.
That's when the heartbeat starts kicking in, day 22.
Okay.
Conception.
At conception. Okay. Let me ask you this: is it a woman's right to terminate a pregnancy? Because there's a lot of people that are saying that it is, a woman's body. She has a right to do what she wants to do with it, and if so, under what circumstances?
Oh, okay. I'm not pro-choice at times because some women abuse their rights to this because they just do it too late. The rights, yes, because yes, a woman's body is a woman's, but some of them get too late with it and do it when the baby's fully formed and when the heartbeat comes in. And it basically is hurt, basically making the baby suffer. And I don't like when babies suffer. But my thing is when there's a story that my health science teacher, she had to deal with a family who had an 11-year-old daughter who was raped. And the daughter didn't want the baby, and it was early. It was probably about nearly 4 weeks, and she said she did not want the baby. But the mom said, no, you're keeping this child. So she devastated to keep the child. She had to drop out of school. She had to live with her life with that child at 11 years old and not get to enjoy high school, prom, college. She had to stay with that child. And I don't know if she had another one, but she just said it was heartbreaking to see that little girl just waste her life away because her uncle touched her that way and all that. And that's where I get pro-choice sometimes. But when a woman just purposely has intercourse and then says, oh no, I'm not going to have the child, and she just basically just makes the baby suffer because she made a choice that she should not have chosen, that she knew that was going to happen, and that's where I get pro-life.
David?
My big thing is it's very much like that is because without the instance of rape, any other situation, it's not exclusively a female issue. There's the, very basic fact of both men and women are born. There's also the thing of, what about the father? It's pretty much a big, thing across the board of the father doesn't seem to have the same rights to his child as the mother has just because the mother has the ability to carry it. We see this unfairness in custody courts, since my father was a single father for a while, and almost lost custody of me to the mother because of the unfairness there. Because overall, the mothers seem to be taken more seriously as parents than fathers are. So I think it's exclusively not a female issue, and fathers should be given more of ability to, choose to have that child. But not choose not to, of course, not choose abortion.
I mean, I can understand some instances where you have to get rid of the baby, like Gracie said. But you took the time to lay down and make the child, at least follow through with the pregnancy. Even if you give the child up for adoption.
Okay. Nick?
Well, in the case of rape, 0.3% of abortions were performed by dad. I mean, roughly, this was an estimation, including if this guy got the rapes. According to the FBI, it was approximately 84,000 per year in the U.S. And he basically did some math and made the chances of pregnancy about 5% in each one of them. So we're roughly estimated 0.3%, and in reality, in pregnancy, chance of getting pregnant is more like 20%. So it's more like 1%. But I usually try to Travis. Wow.
Would you, let me ask you this, would you argue it back to rape? Would that be an exception in your mind? I mean, let's say that there was a bill, let's say that you were in the state house and there was a bill that dropped that said, we're gonna get rid of, outlaw abortions except in the case of rape. Would you vote on that?
You want the religious answer, you want the probably more.
Or answer?
Say both, say both, say both. Say both.
Hard answer.
This is very practical.
Just use both.
I can't just use both.
That's a tough question.
It is tough.
Come for reality. Come for reality.
What do you think? We're here to listen, brother.
I know. But I feel like no matter how I answer this, I'm gonna.
You can always abstain, you don't have to
You can
answer the
abstain.
I
question.
have to answer that.
No, there'll be no judgment in this
I'm not
I tell you
gonna-
room.
what, I'll give you, you write it down, and at the end, I'll give you a chance to come back
Well, that's
to
the
it.
thing, though. I'm not going to come up with an answer because it's just so morally gray. But when you begin to think about it, the majority of abortions are performed because they just don't want the child. The fact that the left uses this very small percentage of people to prove their point, I just refuse to be emotionally manipulated that way. So you can push your agenda. I refuse.
Take that.
So when it comes down to the majority, yes, who are left, yes, we can still vote for adoption. I know that there's some messiness about that, but I'm just saying the majority. I'm taking into consideration the majority. I'm not going to take into consideration this small minority. I know that minority is relevant. I know. But when I'm talking about the majority, this is what usually politics is. You got to think about the majority over the minority, the very, very small percent of the minority. But I guess.
I'll take that as an answer right there. Let me ask you this, just we may be able to roll this in with this question. What can we do to see less abortions in the U.S.? I mean, obviously, we don't, everybody on here is pro-life, and we do not want to see abortions in the U.S. What could we do culturally to help prevent that from happening? David, you have it.
I use Instagram Live to talk to a lot of other people, both on the conservative side and the liberal side, because it allows you to, do a two-way live chat. So basically, I was having this discussion. It came on to abortion with this liberal, and I got them to concede with the fact that, outlawing abortion to them seems like this crazy thing. So start at the point of, what if we defund Planned Parenthood entirely? Because they're a for-profit organization. You can look at the money going in there. They make plenty of money. Take that funding, figure it out in the budget, cut it by a certain percentage, and reinvest it into America's atrocious foster care system so that we can make that foster care system loving, Christian, actually able to help the kids in there rather than hurt them. And then products of rape, because if you are allowed to, if you don't get aborted but you are a rape baby, for the non-politically correct term, but if you figure that out, that is psychologically damaging, and there does need to be the funding in foster care to help with those children who go through that. Because foster care system, in general, at the moment, is psychologically damaging to those kids involved.
You are amazing.
So you mentioned bringing Christianity into it. Do you think that would be something we need to do? And do you think that the government would, if we were to stop funding Planned Parenthood and divert funds back to the foster care system, do you think that the government would be very friendly to allow Christianity in?
I think it just depends on states. Some states will be more resistant for it. I think states like South Carolina will be very open for it. But the thing is, that's a big opportunity. These children's homes that are run by Christians, because my own youth group does support one, the Southeastern Children's Home, and other church ministries, they want to get in there and they want to help those kids. We made Easter baskets for each of those kids individually. We made Valentine's Day cards for each of those kids individually. Thing is, the church wants to help, but some people are very resistant to it, and I say let them help, because that's where the help should be coming from, not the government.
Bailey, what do you think? How can we prevent abortions in the United States?
Okay, my thing is, you're never gonna fully stop abortion. You can't stop people from having sex. You can't stop people from getting illegal abortions.
As
But
much as you can stop a criminal from getting a gun.
exactly.
Yeah.
But like he said, you can cut funding, and that's just something I think that the government should consider.
Okay. How about you, Gracie?
He hit a home run.
All right.
He-
Nick, do you agree with him?
Of course I
You are
agree.
great. Doesn't agree with him.
That was amazing. I could still add some additional stuff to it, I guess.
Yeah, what do you think?
One way to prevent it, like other than that amazing statement you made, I mean, it's not flaw. Yeah, probably flaws. But besides that, other than that, I think one way we could probably prevent more abortions from happening is possibly by crap, I forgot. I lost my. It was well, I've been told it was one way you can do this. This is from that guy I've been telling you about, but I disagree with. But he did make one good point. That you could try teaching safe sex to students in class. You could be more pro-sex and whatnot. That is one way to do it. That is one way.
Well, it seems like they will teach about that in public schools, but I do believe that abstinence is also probably not emphasized anywhere near as much as it's supposed to be.
Speaking from a kid who went through the sexual education classes, the main thing they only focused on was diseases and like the way you can get AIDS, HIV, and all that, but they never focused on children. Like that's another way to like not ruin your life, but just make your life harder. Is having a kid at a teenage at an age.
So they didn't really focus on abstinence much at all, right?
No, all they did was like they said, oh yeah, sex is the way to get a baby, but that's all they said. Then the next like 20 slides out of 30 were like STDs and all that. And one slide was probably about babies. That's it.
David, give me 30 more seconds, we're going to move on to the next one.
Also, another part of Planned Parenthood and why they should be defunded is the fact that a lot of Planned Parenthood clinics are put specifically in poor areas, ghettos of black neighborhoods, to where they can basically incentivize those abortions that are being publicly funded to, you know, kind of hurt and be very predatory toward poor people. Thing is, they work off a similar business model to GameStop, which isn't illegal but is very shady, where GameStop's employees are told to push a certain item, pre-owned games.
Goodness, really.
Out of everything that Planned Parenthood claims to do, abortions are their top ticket item that they try to force on those people for money. That's not where they want the tax dollars to go to.
Okay. All right, well, this is going to be similar to the second amendment. Yes.
I just want to add one more thing. The person who discovered Planned Parenthood, Margaret, I think, she is a borderline racist. She wants to exterminate the black population. I just want to add that to continue.
Yeah.
All right, so on a scale of 1 to 10, just like before, when you can vote, how much does your stance on abortion influence who you're going to vote for? 8, okay.
7.
7.
Possibly more like maybe a 7 or 6.
Okay, all right. 6.5. All right.
I'll go for an 8.
8, okay.